First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start recording this thing so that we can play it back for you tomorrow and get it on YouTube for those that missed it or want to go back and grab something that happened here this evening. So anyway, we announced last week that Brian McGinty of the UK, many of you will know his name. He's quite prolific. He's one of the top European leaders. He is hosting an event for Carrot Bars, an open to the public, open to the world Carrot Bars event featuring our CEO, Harold Zeitz, who will be making a full presentation, not just on Carrot Bars, but on Carrot Pay, the cash gold product, and really articulating the vision. And, those of you on our webinar this evening that have been to an event where Harold has presented, it's one thing for us to articulate the value of it. Like I can pound the table all night long and talk about the value of gold. You guys know that I'm passionate about this. You know that I understand a lot about this, and that I'm deeply desirous to help people understand the value of saving in gold because of what lies around the corner. And all you need to do is look around the world and see what's going on with Venezuela and Greece and Cyprus and other places, India, and the devaluation of their currencies and the hyperinflation that's coming in. And we just know that with all the money printing that's been going on, it is coming here, and that gold is going to be one of the very best safe haven places that you can be, really, to protect yourself and preserve the purchasing power of the money that you've earned. I mean, that's really all we're doing here. And so even though we as affiliates, and maybe even me in particular, can really get really passionate, help you understand it, get you fired up and focused on it, there's nobody who can articulate the belief of this company greater or stronger than our founder and CEO, Harold Zeitz himself. And so if you know anybody in Europe or anybody in around the UK, in Europe, everything is like an hour flight. Like my wife, we fly into Frankfurt. It's a 90-minute flight to Frankfurt. I mean, it takes longer to get to LA from here than it does to get from Frankfurt into London. So, March 25th, North London, Carrot Bars event featuring our founder and CEO. If you know anybody in the UK or European marketplace that you really care enough about to have them understand the value of gold, the power of small denominations, and want them to meet Harold, this is your opportunity. So I really, really want to encourage you to do that. Okay. Not too much else coming out of the corporate from the corporate front tonight. We have a brand new person that's been hired in the head office. His name is Thomas Brenner, and his responsibility will be, he's kind of the operations director, but he will also be primarily responsible for communicating with the field and with the affiliate network. A fast-growing company. One of the shortcomings has been that we've been growing so fast that head office really has been using me and Helene and other affiliates to communicate what's coming out of the head office. But it would really be great if we could hear from the head office directly more frequently. And one of the roles of Thomas Brenner will be to do that. So I'm pretty sure he'll be introducing himself to us in the not too distant future. Look forward to that. I'm chalked up to have a conversation with him sometime in the next week or so. And so I'm looking forward to reporting on the nature of that conversation and really what you can expect coming from the head office as it pertains to how he's going to be dealing with the rest of us. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, and what else have I got for you? I've been spending a lot of time on the phone with Cheryl and Gober as of late. I know that Helene has also, and Brian, and many of us have. For those of you who don't know her, Cheryl Ann Gober is the lady who pioneered, spearheaded, and actually launched Carrot Bars in North America 7 years ago. She is the top of the food chain. She is the only person, the only affiliate that has Harold's personal phone number, and she's very close with him. And we've been aligning ourselves with her. We've been working very closely with her on a number of things. And Cheryl Ann will be on our call next Tuesday night. So you're going to want to mark your calendar. Make sure you get on that one, because she's going to really give us some insights and some vision of not only where we've come from, but where we're going with the depth of experience of 7 years having done that. So really kind of exciting stuff. Tonight, what I want to accomplish on this call, what we want to accomplish on this team huddle, this staff meeting, is really kind of just to kind of inspire you a little bit. And one of the guys that I want to introduce you to, again, week on week, we've been introducing you to members of the team, and one of them is a gentleman by the name of Brian Olynick. He and I have become very good friends in the last several years. Again, another great guy that I would have never met if it weren't for this business. He happens to live here. He's in the Vancouver area, but I'd never heard of him, and I guess he'd probably never heard of me either. But we've developed a very profound, not just respect for each other, but a great friendship, and we're working together on a number of different things, Carrot Bars being the most significant of them. He's got a background as a pastor. He's an entrepreneur. He's been very successful in business. He's been very successful in ministry. And he's just got this incredibly magnificent, beautiful way of relating to people. He's built a huge organization. I think pretty much everybody on this call, not all of us, but most of us would be in his organization, even though you may not have personally met him. He's been around for a while. He's a guy that he knows how to dig in. He's just got stick-to-itness, and I think that's going to be one of the themes that you're going to get on this call tonight. But he's a beautiful human being with a magnificent servant's heart. He has been incredibly successful, and he is still just as approachable and as human as your next door neighbor or your sister or your brother. And so, you know what? I just want to bring Brian on this evening. I want to introduce him. I've just introduced him, and I'm going to turn it over to him and just let him share a couple of words from his heart for the rest of us. And I think you're gonna take notes, because I every time he speaks, some nugget drops. So, hey, Brian, call's yours. Take it away, man.
Hey, thank you, Howard. Howard, are you going to bring him on, or do you want me to just do my thing and then?
Well, I think what you'll do is, why don't you do your thing and then introduce her, and then she'll do her thing, and then I'll pick it up.
Okay.
I'll put a little bow on whatever happens.
And it's going to be a pretty bow. I like the bows that you tie.
All right.
And, hey, speaking of Howard, thank you again, Howard, so much for your introduction and your friendship. Now, I'm seeing you on the screen. I mean, you look a lot better than me, but right now you're kind of dominating the screen right now. Just a heads up on that.
Well, it's only because every person can click on their video icon. You can click on your video icon and watch what happens. See where I am? Double click it. And change.
Oh, there we are. Okay, good enough. Not that I want to steal the show.
All of the viewers, you and me as presenters, and all of the viewers are in control of what their cameras look like. So I'm going to blank mine out now, and I'm going to get out of the way and turn it over to you. I'll see you in a few moments.
Thank you, Howard. Thank you very much. And hey, sometimes we just are not, we get familiar of how good things are in our own backyard and our family. There was this famous guy that walked the earth 2,000 years ago. There's a statement there that said that, hey, a prophet's not welcome in their own town, or their family, his own family, did not recognize this gifted individual. His name was Jesus. And I'm not saying Howard is Jesus, but he's very gifted. We're really grateful for him. But sometimes we just get so familiar, and we're not aware of the talent right around us. And Howard has gone to bat in so many different areas to help build infrastructure. His website, Save Gold, how's it go? SaveCashAndGold.com. He just did another video bringing down a great, this 30,000-foot brief and brilliant video he had brought one down to about 11 minutes. But just yesterday, I think he polished this other one up and down to 9 minutes. It's a top quality video that not only our team uses, people around the world. We don't know. I mean, Howard gets so many hits on his website and on his videos. People are using his resources left, right, and center. And you know what? He's good with it. He's okay. He just freely gives. He receives, and he freely gives it away. That's just the way he operates. And so, it's just, we just get used to the talent we have. And sometimes, and so we really need to encourage Howard, not that he needs it, not that, he does well. He's very independent. He's very skilled. He's able to just focus and work hard on his own. Yet he really needs to be just a heads up, just to say, hey, thank you so much for what you're doing, and to have the resource of Howard. Not that I want to call him a resource, but the individual that he is on our team, my goodness, it's, we really have to just do a few hand flips and just celebrate that he's around. So the corporate recognizes him, Cheryl Ann recognizes him, we all recognize him. So hey, just to remember that, and we're so grateful for you, Howard, for all the work you're doing, and just how you just are just consistent. That word I think you said earlier is something that we want to showcase tonight. And on that note, I want to talk about consistency in a different way. I want to just bring in an analogy, and some people on this call may not like it. You may not say, hey, I don't like the topic Brad's talking about, well, because it's about the Super Bowl game that took place on Sunday. He's saying, oh man, I'm still hurting from that loss. The Patriots won again, or I can't stand football. I can't stand Tom Brady. It doesn't matter. It's just put all that aside and just learn a few things, because we witnessed the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. I mean, what transpired was history right before us. And I have to admit, I gave up. And I'm a Patriots fan. I love the Patriots. But when it was 28-3, I was just like, this is over. This is done. And I pretty well gave up on them and made a few adjustments there. And I see the score just continually, come back in New England's favor. But how did they come back? How they came back was just doing the same thing. And they made a few adjustments, but just doing the plays one play at a time. Doing the play one play at a time. Consistency. Just coming back, just doing what was necessary to come back. They just followed whatever the calls were called from the sidelines or from the coaching staff, and they kept on moving forward consistently. The odds were stacked against them, but they just kept on moving forward one play at a time. And good things happen when we just keep moving ahead one play at a time. And we're going to hear from Hema here shortly, as she has a great story about how that transpires, and we just keep moving forward one play at a time. And so it went into overtime. They won the game. It was just an incredible experience for me. I have to admit, I was pretty happy about it. But yet it sent a message to me about how I could give up sometimes, how I could say, hey, this is over. And I always want to encourage each and every person tonight about your comeback story, about how we can help other people in their comeback story. And we don't want to dance around it. Right now, we're not, Carrot Bars is not in momentum, but there's ebbs and flows in every situation. So New England had they're definitely not in a flow, they're in an ebb, and then they went into the flow of momentum. And so we continually do the consistent things. Now, Howard, again, his resource, that 9-minute video, it's easy as anything can be. We get it in front of people. We just follow the training. I don't want to be redundant on the training. We just get that video in front of people. It's so easy, helping people save gold, helping people, just change their spending habits and the savings habits, help them convert their devaluating currency into true money. And the video does all the talking for us. It does all the, all the things that we need to get in front of people. It's an introduction, and that's all we do, that consistency. And when we do that, great things happen. Wonderful things happen. We get it in front of people. They buy into it. They say, this is incredible. I'm on board. I'm going to run with this now. It's my time. People need to hear about this also. So we just get that video in front of people. We give them some more resources as people show interest, get them on a call with someone else, myself, Howard, whoever it is that works out, Helene, one of your leaders, and Hema does that amazingly well. She's the Vancouver area. She definitely leverages the resources, her leadership, or her team members to come alongside and get them on 3 ways to help people move forward. And that's as easy as it could be. I mean, it's not easy in a sense where we have to show discipline and that consistency, yet it's just not hard to do because this is something that there's a compelling. That's what Howard is. Why is he doing what he does with care partners? It's more compelling within him. There's a values sense in him, a compelling nature in him to be able to just continue to move forward. And with that, I mean, we're going to see the good things that transpire along the way. And some of you might even be here tonight and you're thinking like, I just feel like I'm going in circles. I've just been going around this mountain. Looks familiar. It looks like I've seen that before. And I just want to encourage you in the area where this is not something this is not the same territory. You're not going around doing the same thing. This is simply a cycle. And as you're moving forward and you're going, you're getting better and better at what you're doing, the cycles get shorter. It's just, even in the money worlds and the finances, there's cycles. And we hear about that all the time. And right now we're in a cycle, and yet the flow that's going to transpire again, we just continue to play it. We continue to work it. We continue to do things we need to do. And this cycle will transition us into another higher level. And then things will transpire where we get some people that are working it and excited about it because they see what this does for them personally, how it can help other people. And then it just goes on and it just starts to just create momentum once again. So we're excited about what's happened. I just wanted to bring that forward because it's a current thing that just transpired in that Super Bowl game. So it speaks to me, hopefully it speaks to you also, that you need your comeback story in a sense. Maybe you're just flowing and momentum's happening and that's cool. You don't need a comeback story, but someone else does. Someone else needs to come back from somewhere. When I first was introduced to Care Partners just almost 3 years ago, I needed a comeback story. I not just a comeback. I needed a comeback in my financial world. And so when Care Partners came along, it was something that was the perfect timing. Even though I didn't know anything about gold, the system and the people that brought it to me, just everything was right for me to step into the e-commerce area. I just really wanted to build a business in the e-commerce space. And I'm doing some other things to just develop the e-commerce space, to be able to leverage that what's happening right now and how we can build our business. And Care Partners is perfectly positioned for you to build and to be able to move forward. And this cycle is going to transition into momentum as you continually be consistent, continually to move forward, and continue to reach out to people, the resources we have. So I'm just going to end it with there, and we're going to have a great story from Hema that what she's done so far along the way, and what's transpired. Now, Hema, can you take your mic off mute right now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear
Okay.
me, Brian?
I can hear you. So why don't you that's great. Welcome, Hema. Thank you so much for joining the call tonight. We're looking forward to what's transpired recently. So why don't you share your story, please?
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Howard. This is amazing. This is the first time I'm on a Carrot Bars call, and the last 2 months from the time we started the 113 approach has just transformed so much for me. To give you a short background, I come from India, never done anything remotely network marketing, have had people come in trying to sell me stuff, had a very negative opinion about it. So when I joined Carrot Bars, I didn't think twice because I come from India, I understand gold, so that was a no-brainer. The second thing was I worked extensively with Germany. My background is in nonprofits and international aid. So I've traveled to Germany. I've worked a lot with international aid, German agencies basically. So I trust that country. I know their laws. So these two were like a complete, it checked my points and I said, okay, I'm in. The trouble started when the whole thing was about how do you approach people, how do you recruit, and I'm not a salesperson. I'm great with people, I make friends, I'm very social, but when it comes to selling something, I just freeze. And every time I would go back and say, should I be quitting this, because I have a pattern of quitting very quickly if things don't work out. So something kept saying, no, this is great. You should just stick on. And I realize now I had to wait to see. Not that I didn't do anything. I had people coming in. It was so tough. And I would feel so, it would be so difficult to translate, to help them take off. And it would be, if somebody said, all I can afford is the bronze package, I have actually refused people. And being very honest, I thought there's no money to be made. And so it was so difficult for me. And coming from a nonprofit background, was all about giving and stuff like that. And the last 2 months, from the time we had the 113 approach, that was a big eye opener. And it just opened my eyes, and it became so easy. The system is so simple. It's so
Hema,
straightforward. Yes.
Hema, can you just double click on your picture?
Yeah. Okay. And the system is so simple and it's so straightforward. And I feel personally, it's an inclusive system. We help everybody save gold. It's not just a few people hoarding gold. And we have the system where there's a systematic, consistent residual income as we build the program. So that's what I loved about it. And in the last 2 weeks, a couple, a very close friend of mine, and I've known them for over 20 years. And when I started in Carrot Bars, I shared with them, like, I was so excited. I wanted to share it with my close friends and family, and they never responded. And I realized maybe they're not interested. So we would still talk, but I would never mention the business. And just around end of December, when it's my birthday, they always call me and they said, hey, are you still in that gold business? And I said, yes. They said, we want to know more. And it came at such a perfect time because I knew what exactly to send. Dr. Greg Gary had done a 14 minutes video showing the 113 approach, which is so simple. And so I sent a 14-minute overview of Carrot Bars and the next one. And then in 2 days, they come back to me and they say, how do we sign up? Where do we sign up? Will you help us register? And I said, of course. And it just went on. They were traveling and they came back and they registered. Both the husband and wife got their own different packages. They're on autosave. And then I get up the next morning and I see there's somebody else. And I said, who's this? And they say, oh, my friend Greta says, oh, it's my brother. So they put that person under them. And then they go ahead and talk to a friend who's already there. And then he's going to bring in his wife and brother. And it's so simple because they got it, and they both have full-time jobs. They have very busy lives, so there's not much time that they can spare. But in the course of 10 days, they have brought in 3 more people, and they've talked to their friends in Singapore. They've already sent the invite of the London event to their friends in London and their friends in the States. So they've been talking to a lot of people, and we'll see in the next few days a lot of signups coming in. And this to me spoke so much because I've known them for 20 years, and they have no network marketing background, and they have busy lives. They both have full-time jobs. And if they can do it, and if I can do it, really anybody can do it. And I think we have today on this call, Idalise, who's a brand new affiliate. She's from Utah. And we talked, and it was such a smooth process. And she just got her package today. And she says, okay, just tell me, how do I go? How do I introduce this to people? And yesterday I saw Howard's 9 minutes video, and I sent it to her, and I said, all you do is just send them this, and then we can follow it up. And so I just want to thank, Hal Neff has been so supportive. Helene has always been there. Brian Olnick has always been there. And what I love is Howard, although not directly my upline, we have come together as a family. Dr. Greg Gary, Howard Olsen. I feel so blessed. And I know for a fact that we are going to take off. And I know for myself, every single person that I bring in is going to be a success. So that's all I wanted to share. Over to you, Howard.
Don't go anywhere. Keep your camera on for just a second.
Okay.
Okay. I want to do a little interview with you because I love what you shared, but it had me asking some questions. And if I'm asking those questions, I think everybody else that's watching tonight or this morning, depending on what part of the world they're in, they have the same questions. Okay. So we didn't script this. We didn't practice this. I don't even know what I'm going to ask you until I ask you. So there's no way that you heard the question in advance. This is about as live as it gets. Okay. So the first question, first of all, I really want to thank you for sharing your heart. You know, I don't like war terms. Like, I want to call you a warrior, but it almost sounds like we're not in battle. We're in love here. We're out giving love to the world, right? I think what I love about Carrot Bars is that we're not flogging products. We're genuinely showing people how we can positively change their lives by helping them understand what's happening in the world around them, and then giving them a vehicle to be ready no matter what. And so I love that. But, you know, so my question for you is, the first question I got for you, you know, you talked about that things really began opening up for you with this simple 113. Okay. So from your perspective, what is different about 113 than what we used to do? And when and honestly, from it's just a slight shift, but it is different. So from your point of view, what's different about 113 from the way we used to approach this?
Two things. I see that first, for many of us, it takes the pressure off that you have to constantly be bringing in people. Second is that you can come in with any package that you can afford. It doesn't have to be one of those big packages and put yourself under huge stress. Third thing is we make it right in the beginning, very clear that you have to save gold, no matter what it is, whether it's a gram a month, a gram a week, 10 grams a month, it's up to you. But that consistency and showing them that by doing that, you're not just helping yourself because you have a gold savings being accumulated, but everybody builds that strong, lasting residual income. To me, that makes so much sense. And so, you know, even if somebody is not willing to get into the business part of it, just by saving gold and referring others, just 2 people from their family, they get to make that income.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the beauty of the whole thing. And it makes for most of us say that I can talk to 3 people. That's not a problem. And actually, I have some people coming back and saying, can I talk to more than 3 if I have more than 3 interested? And I'm like, of course you can, but then focus on your first 3, like you mentioned in your last call. Focus on your first 3. Let's support them. Let us build them. Give them all the support, and so that we are there for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's I love it. I love the way you articulate that. It shows your heart, and your heart is the reason why you're successful. But you know, the other question is, and I gotta believe that everybody that's listening tonight, it's the question that's burning inside of them. And the question is this, okay, you've obviously gotten really good at introducing this to people. We all know what the tools are, and I'll talk about this. I'll conclude this. Here's your tools. This is what you do. But what is it you say to your friends and your family and other prospects? What is it you say to them that get them interested to take a look at the 9-minute video? What is it you say to them?
Well, all I say is some of them who know me very well know that I'm into gold, and I say, hey, I'm into a program where I'm saving gold and I'm securing my wealth. And, you know, I'm just taking care that I you know, at the outside of Canada, I tell them how the loonie has really dropped. And I said, it just helps me to maintain the value. So I'm just doing that. And in the process, I'm just sharing with others and also getting to make a great income. And this is an option. And so they're like, I mean, most people get it. Like if it's, and then like, so how much do you save? Do you save an ounce? I mean, we don't have that kind of money. So it's like, okay, I'll share a small video, watch it, and then we can talk about it. And I said, there are many questions that I still don't know, and maybe I'm not clear, and we have a whole support team. I can connect you with a senior business partner. I've taken lots of people to Hal Neff. He has a downtown office. I live in West End. It's very convenient. He's always picked up my calls. I know I arranged for a 3-way call with you, and for some reason that didn't work out because of that gentleman's schedule. But people have always been there. I never felt that I'm alone in this business. The only thing that was keeping me from not achieving what I wanted to was this whole thing about make or less, call so many people. That's just not me. It's not my personality. And I remember one of the PGRs that Dr. Greg Gary did in Surrey recently, and he said, with this approach, every single person can be a superstar. And that is so true. You don't have to be someone who's able to talk in front of people, on you don't have to be a Harvard Olsen with all the knowledge about gold, but each one of us can actually, just by following this simple method, and it's an inclusive method, and that, it includes everybody, it doesn't exclude. It's like, oh, I can't afford a VIP, so I'm not going to be able to get into this. It's a very simple system. It's not easy, it's very simple. And that's something that appeals to me completely. Amazing.
Well, you are living proof that it works. And I love your heart. I love the way you shared that. I can speak. Go ahead.
Can I just add two more things very shortly? Like,
sure.
My friend in Dubai, Byron, he when I told him, when he got to see the video, he said carrot bars, and I said, we have a support office in Dubai. And then he checks out and he says, guess what? It's in my same office complex. We are in the same building. Goes and talks to them. And actually, we might be seeing a lot more coming from that region. I know there are big things happening, and that region might just explode. And I know I have all the support. So, and I'm very excited for everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Thank you also. I know for a fact you helped a lot of people tonight just by sharing your art, because people, that's the question. So what do you do? What do ordinary people do? Listen, we're all just ordinary people. We're a fabric of different people with different skills and different gifts, but the process that we use is pretty much all the same. And I just really want to, from my heart and on behalf of Brian and everybody, all the rest of the leadership team here, just thank you for sharing that, because I know you've encouraged a few people, and more than a few. You've encouraged everybody on this call this evening. So thanks for that, Hema. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Cool. Well, wasn't that good, guys? I think that was just awesome. And, that's exactly it. When we started this 113 thing, we're talking, we say, oh, we changed it. All we really did was we shifted it. And if you go back to some of the messages that we talked about back in, November and December, this isn't a new thing. All we really did was get back to basics. Instead of focusing on the packages and all the rest of that, forget about it. Focus on the gold, because the thing that you focus on is the thing that you get. And the thing that we want is gold, and the thing that we want is residual income. The packages and the dual team produces magnificent bonuses. But think about that as a bonus. The thing that we're building is our residual income, and if we'll just be consistent and steady in it, we're going to have just an incredible amount of success with that. I want to just put a couple of footnotes onto what Hema had to say. I've had this book. I moved to Hong Kong in 1994, and just before I moved to Hong Kong, one of the guys I was working with gave me this book, The Little Book of Excellence. I love this book. You know why I love this book? Because it's got about 100 chapters, and each chapter is 2 sentences. So just big, bold print. And I like to go through it from time to time, and I have a good chuckle. And some of it doesn't really apply today. Like it says, do your clothes smell like cigarette smoke? Maybe you want to change your shirt before you go to your meeting and things like that. People aren't smoking as much as they used to, but there's still some great nuggets in here. So I came across a couple of things here, and here's number one. Okay, this is from the middle of the book. I don't even have page numbers on this thing. Is there page? There's not even page numbers. Here's success tip of the day. Emulate the habits of the winners, not the also-rans. Emulate the habits of the winners, not the also-rans. We just heard from Hema. She's a winner. She's a winner. She's succeeding in this. Why? And Brian talked about it because she just consistently introduces people to the information. She doesn't try to tell everybody about gold. She doesn't try to tell everybody about the difference in purity. She doesn't try to tell everybody about why Carrot Bars and all the other companies are different. She just says, I found a way to save in gold and protect the money that I'm making. And people say, well, how do you do that? Well, here, let me send you a video. And that's exactly what I kind of talked to you guys about this morning in the video that I put out inviting you to tonight's call. You keep it simple, use the tools. Keep it simple, use the tools. So, follow the habits of the winners. And Hema is one of them. She's doing it. She keeps it nice and simple and uses the tools to distribute. So what else have I got? Here's another one. I'll read a couple of these to you. And then let's see. Don't just talk about it. Do it. What? Don't just talk about it. Do it. Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good tip. I mean, it's simple, it's obvious, But it's easy to think and analyze and talk about what we should be doing. You know what? Just get out there and talk to people, generate some interest, and then send them to the resources. Okay, so there's a second tip for you. I got a couple more for you, and then I'll quit beating this horse. Let's see here. Oh, ask for help. That's a good one. I like this chapter. It's a 3-word chapter. Ask for help, it says. You know, what does that mean? Hema said she doesn't try to do this on her own. When somebody starts asking questions, she just introduces them to her success team, her partners, her business partners. She asks for help. You know what? Emulate the habits of the winners. She does it. It's simple. She does it. It works. I promise you. If you do it, it's simple and it works. If you ask for help, you will receive it. Knock, and the door shall be opened. Seek and you will find. Ask and it shall be given. It really is that simple. And the last little thing that I got for you tonight out of this little book, hang on a second. Where is it? There is no replacement for effort. So that's kind of a corollary to the other one. There is no, if you can't find time to do it right the first time, how will you find time to do it over and over again? So why don't you just do it right the first time? Keep it simple. You know, if people ask me what I do, I say, I just help people inflation-proof the money they make. And for those that would like to earn a little income, I show them how they can actually earn more by showing them what they've just seen. You want to take a look? Nice and easy. Nice and simple. Listen, you don't have to copy the words word for word. It's the message that you bring from your heart, okay? And if you will just tell people, listen, in fact, I was talking. I know I got a new lady on the phone here. Man, this lady is fired up. She is sharp. She's sharp. She's humble. She's smart. And I don't even know what she looks like. We just talk on the phone, but I can just tell by talking to her, she's beautiful. And her name is Rayvon, and she's in New York, and she's on this call tonight. I think the second team call she's been on. And we were talking. She wants to do a couple messaging thing, and she said, well, what do you think I should say? And one of the things I say, have you noticed, and you guys have probably heard me say this before, but it's so true. Like, have you noticed that the price of everything is going up? Your cost of living is rising, and people go, yeah. Have you noticed that your income isn't rising with it? And everybody says, yeah. What if I could show you how to inflation-proof the money you have so you're not losing it anymore and help you make more of it? Would you take a look? Nobody says no. And then when they say yes, yes, I'd take a look. That's when we send them to that brand new 9-minute video, okay? Brand new 9-minute video. You don't have to go find it on YouTube. It is sitting at our website, savecashandgold.com. Again, savecashandgold.com. You just send them there, let them take a look at that video. Now, it's very important. You do not wait for them to call you back. If the question is, if I sent you a video, would you watch it? And if they say yes, you send them the video, but you say, when can you watch it? And the only thing I want to do is follow up to see what you thought. And is that fair? And everybody says, yeah, that's fair. Now they've agreed that you can follow up with them. But if you sit around waiting for them to call you, the ones that get hotter than a pistol because they see this thing and they go crazy, they will call you. But that is the minority. The majority of people, you'll tickle their imagination, but you need to pick up the phone and have a conversation with them. So our system is so simple. 113. I'm just going to do this real quick for you, okay? 113 is the high level, okay? It's the story above the story. 113. Get one package one time. It doesn't matter which package. It just enables you to harness the dual team so you can maximize your earnings. Get a package. Commit to a gram of gold every week or every month, but you got to commit to a gram or more, okay? And by the way, where I'm coming from, get as much as you can, as often as you can. And next week's call, I'm going to talk about what's going on in the gold market. There's a lot of things that are going on in the gold market. There's shortages, okay? You watch the price every day. I did a nice piece a couple weeks ago about the price of gold. It's not really the price, it's the currencies. Listen, the physical supply of gold is starting to get tight. This means a lot of things in terms of where the price of it's going to go as the wheels start to come off the economy, okay? Well, that's a sidebar, all right? But everybody feels this. So 113, one package, one time. I don't care where you start. None of us care where you start. Just start. Get in where you fit in. 113. The second one, commit to a gram of gold every week or every month, or in my case, as much as you can, as often as you can. So if you look at my account, I have an automatic weekly autosave set up, okay? And I tell everybody, listen, you want to work with me? Set up an autosave, because this is about inflation proofing and protecting yourself. And everybody says, okay, good. So I have an autosave set up of a gram a week, but I supplement it. Every time I bring in a little money, 10% of the money I earned goes into my gold savings account on top of what I save every week. And I teach everybody else how to do the same thing. That then builds volume, which then pays us commissions at the end of the month. In addition to the tool thing. 3, okay? Find 3 people who want to get their financial house in order and are willing to commit to saving a gram of gold on a fixed interval. 113, one package, one time, 1 gram per unit of time. Find 3 people who believe the same thing. Let's reproduce it. You know, what does a shampoo bottle say? Have you ever read the instructions on a shampoo bottle? What does it say? It says lather, rinse, repeat. That's what this business is. Lather, rinse, repeat. 113, one package, one time, 1 gram of gold per cycle of time. Minimum 1 gram of gold, okay? Let's find 3 who are willing to commit to and believe the same thing. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to go out and talk to 3 people and the first 3 people you talk to are going to come in. The first 3 may say no, or one of those first 3 might say yes. Or in my case, my first week in this business, the first 3 people I talked to said yes. Oh, lucky you. Yeah, but the next 10 said no. So I don't know what order it's going to happen in. But let's find 3 that buy in and commit, and then help them find 3 that buy in and commit, and help them find 3 that buy in and commit. Can I talk to more than 3? Oh, please, would you talk to more than 3? But let's get your first 3 going, and then let's go find some more, and we just keep this going. All right, and that's really what this is all about. And if we'll do that, the amount of gold going into your personal savings account will increase. You're inflation proofing yourself. But as we continue to do this together, the community bank of gold that is being accumulated will create residual income for all of us, because we need that. And you know, we can do deep dives on the comp plan and help you really understand why it works. The reason why we picked 3 is because to maximize the compensation plan, you need 3 active legs that are really doing something. I'm not going to get deep into the comp plan tonight. This is really helping you understand how this works, okay? So, you know, I'm excited for this. Commit to it. Come along. Keep it simple. Ask for help. And as I said to my friend Rayvon tonight, you know, I said, you know, don't do this alone. You don't have to do this alone. Oh, by the way, what we're talking about. So she's got some marketing ideas. And I just, you know, she's gonna put some signage on her car. And she said, "What should I put on the car?" I said, "Well, why don't you put something like this? Got gold? Question mark. People will look at that." And then, want to earn cash and gold? Question mark. And then she can put her telephone number or her website or her landing page or whatever else. We keep it nice and simple. And then when those people call, okay, all she's gonna do is send them over to Save Cash and Gold. Take a look at the video. I'm gonna follow up, and when they ask questions, get Hal or Howard or Brian or Helene, and we'll help you answer those questions. We can show you what videos to watch, okay, to answer the rest of the questions, and then sign them up. And that's how this works. So with that, I just say, you know what, guys, it was a great, another I think, productive call, a great webinar this evening. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. I think that's all we need to cover tonight. Make sure you come back next week. We got Cheryl Ann Gober coming on, who's probably going to take this I don't know what she's going to say, and we're not going to coach her in what we want her to say. We're going to turn on the camera and turn her loose. So whatever comes out, but I know it's good because she is absolutely pure. She loves this company. She's got stick-to-itness. She loves us as affiliates. She loves Herald Sites. She loves gold. She loves God, and she's going to help us really see things with a brand new lens. So with that, I say, bless you guys. Thanks for coming out, and we'll see you next week. By the way, you know, what else can we invite them to? We got a webinar every Thursday. We've got a Why Gold, Why Now webinar every Thursday, and I know that lots of you like to come and watch that, but if you've already seen it, we're not doing it for you. We're doing it for your guests. So yes, we're doing it for you. It's a vehicle to educate the people you want to introduce. The presentations will do the work, but they'll only work if you bring people to the presentations. Follow what Hema said. Follow what Brian said. Hopefully I had a nugget for you here this evening. And if you'll do those things, over time, we're going to build a beautiful business together. In fact, we're already doing it. All right. Good night, guys. That's it for me. Olsen, out.